Deciding that seeing their family once this decade was enough, Mappa have brought to life a story about mystical abominations, fight for survival, and all the hermaphroditic you could ask for. So join us as we journey to an island where Mappa employees' vacation time goes to die as we review Hell's Paradise.
Fuck up, get out!
How was everyone's trip to the Hell's Paradise Island?
Fucking weird.
Oh god, so weird.
Let's put it this way, I'm leaving an odd review on TripAdvisor.
So Jigaraku fucking this is 1 out of 5 stars.
I've got sand in my crack. The locals were not the nicest. But I got to see some boobs, so that's okay.
I had no idea what to kind of like think of this series going in because I think you recommended it too, Rich.
That's a general conversation. I think that's a general conversation.
Well, very true, yeah. But like, because the way Richard sort of made it sound like, cause I didn't realize, I thought he'd actually watched this when he told me about it. Like, I didn't realize he was just kind of throwing me into the lion's den with this. But I'll give it a watch. It's like.
That's another one. That's another one. That's a phrase that's very emblematic of the show as well. Emblematic of the show. Throwing into lions den.
Quite literally, yeah. Because I thought it was going to be some sort of like Fortnite-esque battle royale series. Because you said like, all these criminals get sent onto this island. Either that or like Suicide Squad kind of thing. Which, in a certain degree, it is kind of Suicide Squad-ish, except for the fact that it is, but not really. Instead, it's something much weirder.
That is so true. We just
Edo Japan era of frigging a battle bus transporting them all.
I won't lie, I was disappointed when Gabby Maru didn't do the Carlton dance.
Yes.
I was honest though, when I started watching it, it was a bit very freaky seeing those creatures at first, but then within the second or third episode, it was just like an ordinary anime again.
Well, yeah.
I'm just totally used to this now.
That's okay, that's alright. This is all normal.
The first episode, it's a very Disney start. You go from, oh, I'm Gabby Maru. By the way, I'm getting my limbs ripped apart by 2 cows.
My first thought was seeing the guy who was trying to sentence him to death. And I just thought, this guy just looks like King DDD.
Oh yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
Go back and look at him. Go back and look at him.
Oh shit, he does, yeah.
Some warrior. Now stand back. This boy's going into orbit.
It's kind of funny because obviously you're introduced to was it Sagiri and Gabby Maru straight away. By the way, I like Gabby Maru. It just goes the pacing is so quick. There's like, oh, by the way, I want to die, but I'm not dying. Oh, woe is me, I'm indestructible. And
I personally do like that sort of aspect, that opening bit of it. It's a very, I personally think it's a very well constructed way to get us into the mindset of either character, or at the very least into Gary Maru, by having him obviously be so strange of, I want to die, and you see him not make the attempt to dodge anything throughout every other execution technique that they pull off. But then the one person who shows up, who clearly has something about her, who can do something about that, and immediately he keeps dodging, and even he himself is caught off guard by the fact that he wants to live. And I think that's a wonderfully brilliant moment in the first episode of like establishing that. Whereas instead of like some other shows that kind of go like, oh, he's all stoic and he's all they're all stoic, and then you have somebody turn around and say like, oh, he's always been like that, but it's because of the childhood tragedy of the fish fry challenge, of the trauma that caused from that happened, or some bollocks like that. It's straight up like, you see it through his actions, and even he's surprised by it. And I think that's a good thing, as well as obviously alluding to, hey, this woman who just doing the same shit that the other guy's doing, swinging swords, there's already something extremely special about her. Because this dude's just happily sat there and just gone, what a relaxing neck massage, while they're chopping at him repeatedly with a sword. And she just go for the one swing and he's like, whoop!
It's such a Giga Chad move that he basically blocks the sword by flexing his neck muscles. It's just like I'm sorry.
How biology works.
Is that all the people had to do in the French Revolution? They basically just had to sentence the next, and they would have avoided being decapitated. It's just like, it's easy. Anyone could do it. You can easily avoid being burnt at the stake. You know, there's witches in Salem. They're just fucking noobs.
Come on, bro. Don't you ever work your neck out?
You missed the neck day. It's your own fucking fault.
Yeah.
Or just the thought of these poor beheaded French Revolution heads all just rolling around now, going, motherfucker.
I call hacks, literally.
Jumping a little bit, but just before they're about to go to the island and they have to determine which of them are going to get through, and then they realise that they're basically just going to have to start killing each other because they're not going to bring all the criminals across. And then you're just kind of looking at them, and it's like, oh, I wonder which ones are going to survive.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the ones that have a bit of character design, a bit more definition and animation style.
If you don't like what we're offering, then you can refuse to do it. No one's forcing you.
Good, 'cause this whole thing gives me the creeps. Count me out. If I'm gonna die, I'd rather rot in jail with my men.
Woohoo! Not me!
Speaking of episode 2, because again, like, he gets his pardon, and it's all for his all for his wife, which we might as well just talk about the cock-shaped elephant in the room, you know. Like, her scar looks like a
Dick,
Yeah.
take a look out of starboard.
Oh my god, it looks like a huge...
It's just completely unavoidable. It's just dirt.
Yeah, when I saw it on her face, like, the sort of film head in me kind of went, I wonder if that's symbolic.
It's not like, well, obviously, I don't think it was intentionally. Just looks like a private. I think that's just unfortunately how it's turned out. But the meaning of it. But you're right about the meaning of it. It was obviously just like, this is all you are. You're basically just some hoe to be used and spit out babies. That's all you're for. It is just unfortunate that it looks like
Wang! Pay attention.
Episode 2, the bit with the beach, I found interesting. The thing that made me laugh is when they were talking about where they'll be going, and they show that dead guy covered in flowers, and he said, was it like the flower man returned alive? And I was like, kind of playing fast and loose with the term alive there, aren't we?
Is he asleep? No. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I was sat there thinking that, and then he started talking, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah, the lights are on, but no one home.
And then they start deciding, well, you're all gonna go. We're gonna you'll get your pardon if you find the elixir of immortality. And then the absolute fucking rumble that happens on that beach.
Oh, I know. It's Gabimara ripping that guy's throat out with his bare teeth. It's like, fuck.
I know. He makes Kenpachi look kind of pedestrian by comparison. I was very surprised by was anybody else surprised by the cameo? The random cameo in that beach bit?
What cameo?
All right.
Bakugo.
What? Oh, that.
Oh no!
I genuinely thought there was you were being legitimate about it, because I thought because obviously this is written by was it the assistant to the guy who did Chainsaw Man, is it? So I thought oh, did he just is there a character who's like Makima in the background or something like that? Is Denji in the background or something like that? Like, no, you just fucking pulling my leg as usual.
Am I a stinker?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bakugo, Denji look alike. Then you've got Gabimaru, who looks doesn't look. He kind of looks a bit like Shigaraki. Kind of got a Shikamaru L attitude to him.
The thing is, though, is not only I can't think what his fucking name is. I did write it down. was it? Not only does he look like Bakugo, the bastard even acts like him as well.
The Bandit King.
I'm pretty sure because I don't know if you guys watched it dubbed, but I could have sworn they actually used Bakugo's voice actor.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
I would need to listen to it again, but probably.
It sounded similar.
I'll point it out now because it does come up later in the series. But it's when he turns around and says, was it like I was talking to my wife and she's trying to put me on the path to be all righteous and shit, so I can't kill anybody. It rips everybody's throats out, like, and then because it makes me laugh when he stood. And I know again jumping ahead, but when he stood in front of that big, massive giant and goes, I can't kill him. My wife will be upset, but she'll be fine with all the people you Pac-Man'd on the beach.
Any slight inconvenience or any slight moment where he's like, oh, all I can do is kill, I'm just going to have to do it. He gladly turns decisions to do that very quickly.
It's
very much got the serial killer logic there. It's just like, oh, guess I have to.
I'm going to have to do it.
Back to like 2 and 3. I do like the monster designs. The monster designs are very much wacky.
Once we hit the island, like, there is no sort of slowing down. Everything goes to shit pretty fucking quickly. The funniest thing I found in like these first couple of episodes, like the first 4, is Saragiri, the samurai. I love the fact that she's just kind of speed running what usually takes some characters a full season to do. Like, she just gets onto the island. Fucking 5-handed fucking fish man turns up. She goes,
"We're gonna fucking die."
End of arc. I think, like you said, the plot of it does like go so quickly once they get on the island. But this was kind of one of the problems. Like, I know it's not a long series anyway. Like, most likely we're only gonna get the second season of this, and that'll be it for the entire thing. But it's very hard to actually sort of be invested in any of the sort of secondary characters outside of just like the main sort of 4 or 5 characters, because they fucking die.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially how quick they kill them off. Jesus Christ. And I love it how every single character's thought is the same within those few episodes. They're all dying within seconds, but every single one of their thought is, here's the plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kill everybody else first, then get the elixir, and then get off this island. They all have the same thought. You need all the fucking help you can get bunched together.
Exactly, because
which is like you said,
the ones who survive are the ones who don't do that.
There was a guy, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, and he's with the young girl and they're on the boat and they're trying to escape. And it kind of made...
Tenja.
Yeah, Tenja or something like that. And I thought, they were like, and he's giving it, it's all right, we can do it, you shouldn't be here. And there was a part of me thinking, and by the way, this is massive spoilers, there was a part of me thinking like, oh, this guy kind of makes me think of Yamcha. And then promptly dies.
Yeah.
I thought that guy was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought that guy was brilliant, and I adored him, and I was like, I love the spirit you're bringing. I love how great you are. You are such a nice, refreshing ball of light in this world of darkness that we've got going on. You are so fucking dead.
I just love it how we only get, I think it's 1 episode dedicated to just him, isn't it?
Yeah.
That group of people. And it's so good because I think it's just 1 episode. It's a side character. Like you said, everyone's dying off. We've got no time to really delve into it and really connect to him, but it does such a good job because it towards the end of it you're like, no, I don't want him to die, it's so good.
It's so hard to be invested in him because he just does things so fast,
considering it's the first moment we see him fight a Tenzen as well though, and we actually see one fighting. They did a bloody good job trying to keep, because he lets the other 2 go, doesn't he, the girl and his master now, I forget his name is.
Because he manages to tire him out.
I don't know if you got to the end of episode 6 when you get the first point where you see 2 certain Tenzen women together.
Yes.
God, yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay.
I read that bit in the manga and I was baffled because And I'm so glad I watched the anime because I didn't tell that he swapped genders straight away. I was so baffled because I was like, can this dude not fucking draw? I had to read back, and then it wasn't until I watched the anime and went, oh, he's gender fluid. That makes sense.
I love how it ended as two women on the end of that episode, and the first thing that happened when he came into the next episode was turning into a man.
It's like, the return of the Y motor with a vengeance.
He found Captain Winky!
One of the details that I do like about that is when they were obviously turn around and he detects the humans approaching, the Bakugo reference and his simping brother. It's the stare, because the stare is one of those. It would be easier to just do a stare of surprise or a stare of shock or a stare of thing, but the way they've managed to animate and draw those eyes, there is nothing but hostility, and it's one of those things of you feel a kind of shudder because you're just like, oh god, they're out to kill.
Very anime moment.
There is that sort of look of who has entered my sex den? Speaking of nudity, going back to our poor guy, the Yamcha tribute act, it's when he gets pulled up on the beach with that girl that he's with, and then she completely strips off.
Everyone thinks it's the boy.
And it's one of them moments where I was like, she is 12.
Don't bring this to the world. You know what they'll do.
Is she 12?
Don't look. They're still looking into it. The police will be knocking at your door. What about just before that, when they're on the boats trying to escape and then they get attacked by these giant sperms?
I, honest to God, thought they had just swam into the darkest reaches of the internet.
Pretty sure they did with a lot of the stuff that's in this series.
Those two pretty much fucking straight up sailed into a hentai.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Can we talk about that one part where Yuzuriha is licking Ren? Is it? I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if it's different if you watched it dubbed or subbed.
Yes.
But she's licking her.
Do you really have to lick me?
Yes. Is it necessary to lick me? Not at all. So brilliant. I loved it.
It's such a brilliant moment.
When I first saw her through that image taken from one of the scenes on the episode, and I didn't think that was real. I thought, that was just the internet being the internet and adding that on. To my surprise, that was from the series. That technique.
Oh my god, she is just fan service galore, and boy do I love it all. What I would do to this fucking woman. I love her. To be honest, I like her personality as well, because I actually like the fact that she is out for herself and she is such a bitch.
She just says it, doesn't she? She's straight to the fact, which you see a lot more towards the other episodes, towards the end.
When they start trying to find, because I think the Tenzen are an interesting enemy because they've got a lot of question marks around them.
The thing I found super weird about them is just that they all have some sort of transformation where they turn into Dark Souls bosses.
Isekai mode.
Fucking Aubrey was it the little shop of what the fucks.
There's a lot of what the fucks in this.
The only issue I had is there was a bit with Gabimaru fighting one of the Tenzen and ripped straight out of Dragon Ball, which I thought was cool, but there are certain episodes where they aren't animated as great, and I feel like we lost a lot of impact. But I can't be too mad. Seems that Mappa haven't seen sunlight in a couple of months, so
give them a real break.
Considering the workload they have, I can kind of sort of get by it. But a lot of the color, there were certain episodes, like especially when they meet that Tenzin in the shrine, that I felt that the color scheme and the way it was shot was a lot better. And then there were some bits where I was kind of like, this just looks like a bog standard, like old 2000 Naruto episode. Do you get me?
Yeah, and the filler kind.
Yeah.
And which is a shame. Which and to apologize to those people who are tracking as we're slowly going through the series, just like a carpet whip straight back. You're kind of lulled into how awesome a series is gonna be, as the opening is friggin' straight fire. The opening is straight fire.
Yeah,
how it's animated and
we
music.
not spoke about that. Absolutely, we speak about that a lot. Don't we? We absolutely love the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
I just think of Hobson on his one of his earliest albums on that skit that he does, where he's like, play that shit. Come on, play that shit.
See, I don't know what it is about it. Does it? I think it's really well. I think obviously the opening is really well animated, as Mappa's ones always are. But I'm not massively keen on the song. I don't know why. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it in any way. I don't love it either.
I respect your opinion. You're wrong though.
The only other thing I wanted, the only other thing is that blind guy, fucking Daredevil.
Yep. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Mr. Matt Murdock himself.
Daredevil is here and he's ready to kick some kissy ass.
He's the only one that did any fucking damage.
That's because that's the thing. That's the only thing I was going to say. I found the whole kind of power system in this, because obviously every shonen anime has to have something he has chakra or ki, and you call it Tao.
Yeah.
That's where I was kind of another sort of disappointment, because I kind of like the fact that they didn't have a power system. I don't mind them having a power system. It doesn't really take away from the story, but I would have rather them have just stuck to them having to fight with their own instincts and trying to find ways around it.
No, and I kind of agree with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take away from anything, but I just find it odd that, we just happen to have this blind samurai who has an instinct of knowing how to use it already, and then once the other characters kind of learn about it, they also pick it up super easy.
They've been doing things before. Did you see the part where the little girl, a guy, she gives energy through hugging people?
Lost it because
sneak
that was kind of clever, because as they kind of explained in a scene earlier with the little girl May, they to achieve the sort of maximum potential of Tao, you need yin and yang. You need obviously men and women to have Congress, as they call it, sex. But the idea is that they're basically kind of taking it to the extreme. It's literally all they just need is some contact. All they need is a nice hug.
No.
They don't have to be doing doggy style.
No, that's not what I heard.
In that fact, we just need some contact. All that time we just took the piss out of Gears of War when you heal somebody by tapping them on the shoulder. It's actually true.
Oh my god,
it works. I've been using Tao this whole time.
When I heard this power system and they said about they've got to commit, they got to do. I was like, right, I'm going training in a few rounds with Yuzuriha. See you in a bit.
I'm gonna be a master of this.
They literally get stronger by fucking sign me up.
Yeah.
What a fucking great training system.
Take it back. It's the best power system ever.
I think it's funny how they mention the weakness is the groin or something like that, which I was kind of thinking, if you twat me in the dick with a sword, I'm gonna go fuck. Yeah, it's not just a demon thing; it's a universal thing. But that kind of makes me think of the zombies. It kind of makes me think of zombies and vampires, where they say, zombies will die if you shoot them in the skull, like every other fucking living thing.
I think one of the kind of things about the whole Tao thing is what it kind of does to because you find out there's been people living on the island, isn't it? But most of them turned into Groot essentially. And we get all the exposition through who is basically Groot.
The thing with Groot, there's the end of one of the episodes, and I laughed my back off. And it's again that bit where they walk upon the Ginger Tenzin, and he like flicks his finger and his head just falls off in the most anticlimactic way ever, because it just like they just turn up. And then that's it. He's turned into a doorstop, and then that's it. The episode just ends.
Langoff Ed.
It literally was.
I was kind of thinking, like, in Thor: Love and Thunder, where like Korg his body gets destroyed, he's just he's the head for the rest of the movie.
Oh man, I can't feel my toes. I don't have any toes. I think I need a hug.
It's now that time where we share our final thoughts and opinions and decide whether you should binge, casually watch, avoid.
It's a bit of a struggle for me because they definitely like the animation peaks and flow, which, you know, given that the studio behind it is like trying to become the Disney of frigging anime by doing 1,000 projects in one. I would definitely put it down for a sort of a binge. I'd say a binge. Yeah, you know, because with the way the pace is going on, there's every chance you're going to get caught up in the flow and binge it anyway. But not what like. It's not going to be intensive fun. Just switch your brain off and enjoy the show.
I agree with what Sam said. It's like the show moves at such a pace that I think it is incredibly easy to just, you know, kind of switch your brain off and binge it a bit. It's basically kind of like the fast food of anime, and it's just a nice easy series that you can just, you know, watch it. You know, probably watch it in a day. You know, if you have so much of the time. You know, you might feel a bit like you might feel a bit grim afterwards, but fuck it. You know, I'd definitely say binge it.
I wouldn't binge just because I didn't. I was very in and out at the beginning, like first half of the series. To be completely honest, like, I did enjoy it. I was getting into it, understanding the premise, seeing again what it's bringing to the table. But it wasn't until the second half that I started to enjoy it a bit more. It has its ways. I guess in the first half, it's getting more into like, obviously development, everything, character story, yada yada. I feel like they got a bit more comedy into it in the second half with the teams that we're in, and especially like Yuzuriya and all them. They become a lot more funny, and I enjoyed that more part of it. So I am more just casual?
For me, I'm very mixed on it. I was very sort of excited to look into the series. To me, it suffered in parts, and it wasn't as dark as I was hoping it would be. I mean, saying that it is pretty grim, but it wasn't how I think they could have pushed it a bit more. So for me, it's a casual watch. I think it's an anime with a great potential to be something great, but it's just had a very rocky start.
I made them with whatever I could find. I think I did a decent job.
Balls are fucking, look at them. Fucking sick.